What's going on, Ethan? How are you, buddy? It's going good for me. Let's make sure to smash that like button. Couple minutes. What's up, Keon? Couple minutes. We get a few people in here. We're going to feed this girl. YouTube kind of been screwy today, I think. I posted 2 short videos and they say they got like 13 views. It's kind of crazy. I never get that little of views. But I think it's a YouTube thing. I don't know for sure. I had 1 like show up. One of the 2 showed up anyway. What's up, Iron Sword? What's going on with you? Make sure you share this, Iron Sword, with everybody you can. Tell them I need their help again. What's up, Silent Night? Smash that like button for me, Silent Night, unless you already did. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it, Iron Sword. We're going to feed this girl here in a few minutes. I just want to give people a couple of minutes to get in here, and then we'll feed her. The fuck? That ain't right. The hell? What's up, Do Not? How are you? Few more minutes here, see if anybody else comes in. If not, we'll go ahead and go for it. So what's going on today, Ethan? How are you, buddy? We're up to 8 people, so about 2 more minutes or so here we'll give people. If we don't see anybody in about another 2 minutes, we'll go on and feed them. Feed her. This is a female here. We fed the male last night, but I don't know. There we go. Well, now it says 4. I don't know how accurate it is. Like I say, YouTube's been a little screwy. Because our likes are up to 11, so. What's up, Bobby Joe? How are you? Give it about one more minute here, and then we'll go ahead and do some feeding. I got some frozen rodents that I got to thaw out to feed a couple of the other animals as well. All right, thank you. Appreciate it, Iron Sword. What's up, Tom? What up, Grande Johnson? I have no idea, Iron Sword. No idea what's going on. Last night, I only got like 795 views, which ain't horrible, but that's not good either, so. But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and feed this girl here. She's waiting patiently. So, let's go ahead and feed her a little bit. Come on, mouse. For anybody this, just so you're aware, once again, this is a live feeding. I want everybody to understand it is a live feeding this time. The rest of the feedings tonight should be frozen thawed. So if you do not want to see a live feeding, I suggest you turn your head now because I'm about to feed. What's going on, Harvey? Thanks for stopping in. Here we go, guys. Here you go, girl. Don't be shy. You know how this works. Come on. Come on. You know how this works. What are you being shy about? Why are you being shy? You always snatch it right away. Let me get a better grip on this thing. I think it's scaring her. There we go. There you go, girl. Come on. Here, girl. Oop. Guys, I'm going to zoom in. You can actually see venom on that mouse there. You see right there, that's venom right on that mouse. Guys, you give me just a minute here to put these mice secure so no mice get out on me. And then we'll talk a little bit about this snake. For anybody that it's the first time watching or anything like that. What's going on, Dolly? Thanks for stopping in. What's up, Kitty OSC? Thanks for stopping in. President Lejongong, nope. All right, guys. So, for some of you who have been here before, or those who have been around and watched the channel in the past, you know how I like to do things here. I start working with these venomous snakes. I like to start with a short prayer, and then we move on and I tell you a little bit about the snake. So let's begin. Please have a moment of silence in the chat while I say the prayer, and then you can commence at the end. Heavenly Father, thank you for the beauty and diversity of the world that you've created. As we take time today to learn about one of your remarkable creatures, open our minds to knowledge and our hearts to wonder. Teach us to respect life, to seek understanding rather than fear, and to be wise stewards of the natural world. May this time be enlightening and meaningful, and as always, please keep the pointy end of these animals as far away from me as possible. Amen. Guys, today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most striking and misunderstood creatures in the natural world. This is the blue insularis pit viper. If I asked you to picture a snake, you might imagine something brown, green, or maybe patterned to blend into the leaves or the dirt. But the blue insularis pit viper challenges that image completely. This snake is brilliant, almost unreal shades of blue. It's so vivid that, many people think, photos of it must be edited, and yet this extraordinary animal is very real. The blue insularis pit viper is not just fascinating because of its color, it tells a much bigger story about evolution, a bigger story about balance in nature and fear versus understanding, and our responsibility towards the environment. The blue insularis pit viper is a color variation of the species Trimerosaurus insularis. It's also known as the Asian green pit viper. While most members of this species are green, those found on the Indonesian islands like Komodo Island are this incredible blue coloration. Scientists believe that this color change is a result of island isolation. When the animals are separated from the mainland for long periods of time, they evolve differently. Over generations and generations, subtle genetic changes can lead to very dramatic physical traits, sort of like this stunning blue skin. The phenomenon is called island insularism, which is where the snake gets its name, insularis. The blue color is not caused by blue pigment, though. That's very important to understand. Instead, it comes from the absence of yellow pigments that normally combine with the blue skin cells to make green. But without the yellow, the blue remains, and the result is one of the most visually striking snakes on Earth. The coloration may help with camouflage in certain lighting conditions, especially in the dense jungle environments, especially where shadows and filtered sunlight, create those bluish tones that we see. But it may also simply be a genetic quirk, that survived because it didn't hinder the snake's ability to hunt or survive. Nature doesn't always design things to please us, but sometimes the result is breathtaking. The blue insularis pit viper lives primarily in the tropical forests, including the lowland jungles, some plantations, and even rural gardens. They are arboreal, which means that they spend much of their time in the trees and the bushes. This snake is nocturnal, active mainly at nighttime. During the day, they are often, just coiled quietly on the branches, sitting perfectly still, just waiting for darkness. Their diets usually consist of small mammals like birds and frogs and lizards and mice, things like all pit vipers, and just like all pit vipers, they're an ambush predator. They just wait patiently and strike with incredible speed whenever the prey comes close enough. One of the most fascinating features of this snake is the reason that it's called a pit viper. Between its eye and its nostril are small heat-sensing pits. The pits allow the snake to detect infrared radiation, especially in low light conditions or even in the complete darkness. This ability is not just impressive, it's a reminder of how finely tuned nature can be. I get this question all the time, is it dangerous? Yes, the blue Insularis pit viper is venomous. Its venom is a hemotoxic venom, meaning that it affects the blood and tissues. A bite can be extremely painful and medically serious if left untreated. However, it's real important to understand this clearly. The snake is not aggressive. What's up, Patrick? Bites almost always occur whenever the snake is accidentally touched, like stepped on or provoked. The viper would rather just remain still or retreat than to waste its venom on a human, which it cannot eat. Fear often comes from misunderstanding. So when we learn how animals actually behave, fear easily turns into respect. The blue Insularis pit viper plays a vital role in its ecosystem. By controlling populations of rodents and other animals, it really helps maintain ecological balance. Without predators like this snake, rodent populations could just explode. As I like to explain, just one female and one male rodent over a year in their one female and one male in their lineage over 1 year can produce over 20,000 rodents. And of course, that would lead to major crop damage and the spread of disease, things like hantavirus and Lyme's disease, because they carry ticks. So even animals that scare us often serve an important purpose. In nature, nothing exists without a reason. Unfortunately, the blue Insularis pit viper does face growing threats, especially from habitat destruction, deforestation, and the illegal pet trade. Because of its stunning appearance, it's often captured and sold. Sometimes, they die in transit or being kept in improper conditions. Removing these snakes from the wild disrupts ecosystems, and it really reduces already limited populations. Conservation is not just about, saving cute animals. It's about protecting entire systems that depend on each other to survive. And that's why I push for people that are into animals, snakes or any animal for that matter, but especially in my line, reptiles, other animals, whatever, snakes. If you're going to get into it and you really need to have a snake, buy yourself a captive bred and born animal. There's no reason to get a wild caught. Yes, you can purchase wild caught a little cheaper than you can a captive bred or born, but come on, is possibly disrupting an entire ecosystem worth that couple frickin' dollars you're going to save? Not really. And most of the time with a guy like me, if I have this snake up for sale for $1,000 and you hit me up and say, hey, I've got, 950, will you work with me? Of course, I'm going to work with you. So there's a few lessons that we can learn. There's several powerful lessons that we can take from the blue Insularis. And first, that, beauty can exist in unexpected places. That's just something that many people fear can also inspire. And second, misunderstanding really leads to fear. When we take time to learn, fear often fades. And finally, we are caretakers, not owners of this planet. The natural world does not belong to us. We belong to it. So, the blue Insularis pit viper is more than just a blue snake. It's a reminder of how creative and complex and interconnected life on Earth truly is. When we protect creatures like this, we're not just saving a species. We're honoring the balance of creation and our role within it. Guys, thank you for listening, and I hope the next time that you see something in nature that, scares the shit out of you or confuses you, you'll choose curiosity, respect, and understanding instead of fear or destruction. I tell you, that mouse was a fighter, guys. That one didn't want to give up. Holy crap, Patrick. I think you're the celebrity of the channel. Everybody said, Patrick, Patrick, Patrick. As you guys can see right here on this area of her head, that's actually the venom glands right there. Right there on each side, that's the venom glands where all the venom is stored until she bites something. Pretty crazy stuff. This snake here, you know, if you're not allergic to the venom, there's a very high likelihood that it would not unalive you. But it would cause some serious swelling, serious pain, and, you know, maybe even long-term issues. I'm not going to mention my daughter's screen name on here, but she is on here right now. I'm not going to do that, you know, just out of fear of certain people, you know, being dish rags. But she actually had, it would be her great uncle because it'd be her mother's uncle. But he has been bitten a couple of times by timber rattlesnakes, pretty severe bites. And the last bite, to my understanding, I haven't talked to him personally since the last bite. I did talk to him after one of his other bites. But after his most recent bite, my understanding is he still has some long-term effects from that bite happening. And actually, I believe I saw his brother in the chat here too when we first started out. I don't know whether his brother's still in here or not, but yeah. So I don't know, in the last, you know, year or two, I don't know what the prognosis looks like on any of his long-term problems, but the last I heard, there was some maybe heart issues or kidney issues, maybe. I actually fed a timber rattlesnake a little bit earlier. I put him into a new enclosure, and I fed him while I put him in his new enclosure. But we will go ahead and open him up and take a little look here after this girl here is finished eating. I do got to grab a couple of the frozen rodents to feed. I need to feed Bill and Bertha, the two giant gaboon vipers. The Sue, the bite that I was talking of happened. You know, I believe it's been a couple of years now, but like I say, there's some long-term health issues from it, to my understanding. But I thank you for that. That's why if I'm ever to get another bite again, like the copperhead bite, well, it's over a year and a half now, but if I was to catch another copperhead bite like that, you know, I would most definitely go to the hospital because I got that swelling in my hand that just don't go away. That was very stupid of me not to get treatment when I got that bite. One of the things with the guy I was telling you about with his timber rattlesnake bite, he actually was taking the timber rattlesnake to release it. I did not last night, Sue, but I think we will do that tonight. But yeah, he likes to, catch timber rattlesnakes. He'll keep them for a week or two or whatever, and just sort of observe them and stuff, and then he'll take them release. In Pennsylvania, you can get a permit every year to do so, and you don't have to release them. You can actually keep it forever if you want. I don't like doing so, but so he catches them, observes, and then releases, and he actually took that snake and was trying to let it go when he got bit, and he was alone when he did so, and ended up getting bit. I don't know the entire story, but I guess thank you for that, Tom. I appreciate that. But he ended up getting bit with that thing, and I think somebody actually went out because he didn't return in time, and my understanding was somebody went out to look for him and found him in pretty bad shape after the bite. That's one of the reasons that you always hear me, when it comes to actually removing, what up, Cayman? Removing a snake from its enclosure. I know I've been breaking my own rule, since I've been here at the beach. But I'm close enough I can yell for somebody if I need to. But anyway, that's why I have the rule for myself where I will not handle venomous snakes unless there is somebody there with me. And 9 times out of 10, it's Art, or AKA Queertus. Yes, that's a blue Insularis Cayman. Yes, sir. This is the female blue Insularis. You can always tell this female. Now, my other female doesn't have such a large bump on her nose. She does have a bump on her nose, but not as large as this. So you can always tell the two females by the little bump. Please, Sue, please. It gets that bump from pushing on its enclosure. Whenever this snake is gravid, just before she has her babies, she likes to start pushing on her enclosure, trying to find a way out of her enclosure. I don't know why. I have tried, multiple different enclosures for her. I've done everything I can possibly think of to try to get her to feel comfortable at that time. As you see, right now, she's perfectly comfortable, happy, everything is good. But she whenever she goes to have her babies a couple of days before, she'll start pushing on every corner of her enclosure, and she bangs her nose up sometimes doing so, and it's just basically scar tissue on her nose from doing that. I cannot break her habit of it. Now, the other girl, when she was young, she was a pusher. I did not raise the other female up as a baby. The other female I bought from somebody, and she was obviously a pusher herself back then. Keep spraying Queertus with confetti and he won't help you. Yes, he will. Hey, I spoil her with the free ranging tree. Heck yeah. But yeah, she just, for whatever reason, see, now when they want to have their babies, they want to find a safe place. That's the big thing about it. And I don't know what, she's perfectly fine all year round, but then come time to have her baby, she feels unsafe. I don't know if it's because the scent and, the smells of all the other snakes around her or what, but something makes her feel like she wants to get out of that enclosure and find a safer place to have those babies. I'm going to skip this year breeding her. I'm not going to breed her this year. I will probably wait until next year to breed her again. Ralph, this is a blue insularis pit viper. The scientific name is a Trimerosaurus insularis. The Trimerosaurus insularis is the green Indonesian pit viper. But this is a subspecies of the Trimerosaurus insularis found specifically on the Komodo Islands in Indonesia. They are also known as the white-lipped pit viper. This one is called the white-lipped island pit viper. Very, very pretty snakes. Thanks for stopping, Ralph. If you haven't yet, please smash that thumbs up for us. We go live every day. We have many, many different venomous snakes. And we do have some ball pythons as well, but we mainly show the venomous stuff. We go live every single day, so stop on in some more if you're around. They're rather toxic. They are medically significant. They're a hemotoxic venom. Basically, what that means is it affects, blood vessels and tissues and blood. If left untreated, you could succumb to it, but probably not likely. But it probably would cause some severe necrosis and things like that. So you would definitely want to get treatment. You hit the like and subscribe. Awesome, Ralph. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yep, Cayman, exactly. Yeah, it can cause necrosis. Yep. And it would, no doubt in my mind. She just finished eating, Ralph. She's still swallowing her mouse right now. Actually, if you look right about there on her body, you can still see the mouse in there working its way down. Bobby Joe, you're just going to have to relax and watch the snakes for now. Sue already done told you. If there's another word, I'm going to time you out for the night. I'm sorry, not trying to be rude, but we're talking with other people about snakes tonight. Yeah. If you want to see the feeding, if you tap your screen once and look at the bottom, you should see a red bar across the bottom. You'd be able to back that up, about 10 minutes, and you'd be able to see the feeding. Or you can wait till the stream's over in a couple hours. It'll be up there, and you could rewatch it then. I also have some short videos on my channel that show prior feedings of the blue insularis. Yeah, Cayman, she was adjusting her fangs and stuff, realigning her jaw and her fangs. I am going to go grab the rodents and get them thawing out because I got to thaw out a couple of large rats, and I am going to feed Bill and Bertha. Yeah, it is, Sue. Absolutely. I do have a timber rattlesnake that I want to feed as well, so I will probably feed that timber rattlesnake while the rodents are thawing out for the others. So let me close her up, grab this timber, and get this timber in place. And actually, let me go grab the rodent because this one's gonna be a pre-kill rodent for the timber, and then it'll be the frozen thaw for Bill and Bertha. All right. All right, so I'm gonna close this girl up, and I'm gonna grab the timber that needs fed. So let's close her up quick. All right, let me sit her up here. Okay. Let me get this. Okay. Let me get her. We're going to get a mouse in there for her. This is not a live mouse. So anybody that doesn't like live feedings, this is not a live feeding. It is an already deceased mouse. But I'm getting ready to put it in the enclosure here. So guys, the timber rattlesnake, shit. The timber rattlesnake is not just a symbol of wilderness or warning. It's an ancient, intelligent, and essential part of North America's natural ecosystems. Hang on, I'm too far away from y'all here. Give me just a minute. Alright, anyway, when we take time to truly understand it, we discover that it teaches us, powerful lessons about balance, respect, and coexistence. The timber rattlesnake is scientifically known as Crotalus horridus. It's one of the oldest rattlesnake species in North America. Sorry, I'm trying to get the hot water going to get those rodents thawed out. But they're primarily found, in the eastern and the central United States. They live in the forest, the rocky hillsides, the wetlands, and the mountainous regions. Their name comes from its preferred habitat, the wooded or timber areas. Unlike a lot of the desert rattlesnakes, these species really thrive among trees, fallen logs, and in the dense forests. Timber rattlesnakes are typically large and heavy bodied. They usually get between 3 and 5 feet long. Their coloration varies, but most of them, the vast majority throughout, the southeast and the central parts of the United States are, shades of gray, tan, and stuff like that with dark zigzag or banded patterns. And that really just helps them blend perfectly into the leaf litter and the forest shadows. Now, in the northeastern portion of the United States, you find them this color here, which is basically like green with yellow undertones, and they're also black. Which is called the black-faced timber rattlesnake or the yellow-faced timber rattlesnake. Perhaps the most famous feature of the timber rattlesnake is the rattle itself. Contrary to popular belief, the rattle is not used to threaten or attack. It's actually a warning system, and it's one of the most honest signals in the animal kingdom. Whenever a timber rattlesnake rattles, it's saying, "I'm here, please don't step on me, keep your distance," and it would just much rather scare you away than to bite you. In fact, rattlesnakes often rely on their camouflage first and foremost. If that fails and a threat gets too close, the rattle is a final attempt to avoid conflict. A bite is usually a last resort. Timber rattlesnakes are generally calm and non-aggressive. They are ambush predators. That just means they sit and wait patiently rather than actively chasing their prey. Their diet includes things like rodents and mice, rats, squirrels, chipmunks, and sometimes an occasional bird. And it really just makes them valuable to humans, whether we realize it or not. And they're valuable to us by, controlling rodent populations. Timber rattlesnakes help reduce crop damage and the spread of diseases that are carried by rodents like hantavirus and ticks. We know ticks cause Lyme's disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever. So, in many ways, they serve as a silent guardian of the forest. During the colder months, timber rattlesnakes enter a state called brumation. And often they return to the same rocky dens year after year, for sometimes, thousands of years they've been there. And a lot of the times they share them with other snakes. Some of these dens have been used continuously for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Yes, the timber rattlesnake is venomous, obviously. And its venom is primarily hemotoxic, affecting blood and tissue. Now, some can also have some neurotoxic effects, which means it affects the nervous system, and some can have myotoxic effects, meaning it affects the muscles, but it's primarily hemotoxic. So, a bite can be very dangerous, especially without medical care. Um, it's very important to put that into perspective. The timber rattlesnake rarely bites humans. Most bites occur whenever people attempt to handle, kill, or provoke the snake. Modern medicine has made rattlesnake bites highly treatable, and fatalities are extremely rare. The real danger lies not in the snake itself, but in the human misunderstanding and the fear driven behaviors. Despite the importance of the timber rattlesnakes, they are facing some serious challenges. Things like habitat loss, road mortality, persecution, illegal collection. All these things have caused population declines dramatically in many states. And in some states, the timber rattlesnake is threatened or endangered. And they are protected by law in all states, to my understanding. For generations, these snakes were killed out of fear or myth. Some communities even held, organized hunts. A lot of them call them, what would they call them? Roundups, rattlesnake roundups. Today we understand that those actions caused, long lasting harm, to the ecosystems. Conservation efforts, really focus on education, habitat protection, and, coexistence. Um, the timber rattlesnake just reminds us of a very important truth, and that's that just because something is dangerous does not mean it's evil. You know, my old lady's dangerous, but I don't think she's evil. So nature is not designed to be harmless, it's designed to be balanced. Predators play a very crucial role in keeping ecosystems healthy. When we remove them, the consequences ripple outward in ways that we don't often expect. And fear disappears, when knowledge takes its place. So, there's several lessons that we can learn from this remarkable animal. And first is that warnings are not threats. The rattle is a call for space, not conflict. Second, that, stillness is strength. The timber rattlesnake survives not through aggression, but through patience and awareness. And finally, respect sustains coexistence. When humans respect wildlife and wildlife maintains its role in nature, balance is possible. So, the timber rattlesnake has lived on this continent long before cities, roads, and fences. It asks for very little. It just wants a tiny bit of space, a little respect, and the chance to fulfill its role in the natural world. When we choose understanding over fear, we protect not only this species, but the integrity of the ecosystems that we depend on as well. And once again, guys, I appreciate you listening. And, I hope that we can continue to learn how to live wisely and respectfully alongside the incredible creatures that share this world with us. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that, buddy. Some people like this kind of show, some don't, man. But I'm glad that you do. I got a lot of respect for people who, take the time to learn about these animals and understand their value and importance. You know, there's some things with these animals that a lot of people don't know or don't realize or understand. Maybe they don't care. Um, these snakes, are the oldest recognized rattlesnake species, on the planet. The actual flag, it's known as the Gadsden flag. A lot of people know it as the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. The rattlesnake that is depicted on that flag is actually the timber rattlesnake. And basically, it just symbolizes, that it's docile. It doesn't want to fight, but if you provoke it, it will most definitely defend itself. So, and I believe, Sue Tom can correct me if I'm wrong because she knows this as well. She has brought it up in the past. But I think it was Ben Franklin actually wanted the timber rattlesnake to be our nation's animal rather than the bald eagle. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. What's up, Ricky Bobby? Yeah, I have a Massasauga rattlesnake or two as well there, Ricky Bobby. Well, Ralph, you hang out long enough, and watch some of our stuff, you'll learn with these snakes, there's a lot less to fear than what it has been portrayed, and gotten into people's heads over many a years. Um, as most people on here can vouch for, with these snakes, when I open an enclosure, that snake does not normally come at me. That snake wants to get away from me. So the snake will do everything in its power to get away from you. There are, like 4 or 5 timber rattlesnake bites annually, usually in the United States. And out of those, every single one of those bites occur because someone either accidentally stepped on them, reached under something to pick it up and there was one under there, it felt cornered or threatened. There's never been a bite because a snake chased a human down and bit him. Yes, I have been bitten. I was bit a long, long time ago by a timber rattlesnake, and then about a year and a half ago, a little over, I was bitten by a copperhead. Yep, she's got it down. Now, as you watch, she'll kind of stand up as her body back and forth, working it on down the rest of the way. Yeah, Ricky Bobby, when he first started coming around, he was the same way. He didn't like snakes, had a little bit of a fear of them and stuff. But he's learned over this time, to respect, not fear. That's all it takes is respect, and you're completely safe with them. Once bitten, twice shy, huh? or or how about twice bitten, never shy? It's very understandable, Ralph, to be scared of them. And I believe there is a place for fear when it comes to venomous snakes. You know, uh, but it's got to be a healthy fear. It's got to be one where, maybe you fear them enough to avoid them, not fear them to want to harm them. Now, as soon as these rodents are done thawing out, which it's going to take just a little while here because they are very large rodents. Hang on just a second. Hello? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I will. Let me step out here just a second. Where I'm off. Sorry about that, guys. Whew. So anyway, let me check these rodents out here and see where we're sitting. Still frozen. Zombie, you dirtbag, stop that shit. Yeah, we're going to be feeding the gaboons or the baboon vipers real soon. You know, normally I would feed her a second one, but I don't want to overdo it with this girl. This girl and the other one below her and another male, all three of them had snake fungal disease that I treated. They ended up with respiratory infections, treated those. They went, you know, over a year without eating, so it, you know, I try to keep it slow return on the feeding, so. Once a week I feed them there, Ralph. Bertha may not eat. She might, but she might not. We're going to try, though. It didn't tell you I was live? What the F? Yeah, I was wondering where you guys was. Virtual knows my main account, but I have to be anonymous because of other shit, so yes. Yes, that's true. That's very true. Yes, Ralph, that's true as well. The gaboon viper has the longest fangs of any snake on the planet, also has the largest venom yield of any snake on the planet, and it is up for debate whether they are the fastest striking snake on the planet or not. The death adder might strike a little bit faster than the gaboon viper. Awesome, Ralph. I appreciate that. Well, stick around for a bit here because we're going to feed these gaboon vipers as soon as these rodents thaw out. It takes a little bit to thaw them out because they're such big rats. So, but yeah, the gaboons don't move real fast, but they can. If them snakes need to move fast or they feel threatened, they can haul ass. Actually, let me go get a little rodent here. I'll feed another snake while we're waiting here. Maybe I'll just grab Queertus to feed to him. All right, let me grab this camera for a minute. We'll show y'all a little something. Now, guys, this is going to be a live feeding. This is a live feeding. So, see if I can open this cage one-handed without getting bit. Give me just a second. Grab my high-tech phone holder. I know where you're at in Attica. Hell yeah, I know where you're at. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I used to come up to Attica all the time. Ah. I am not familiar with that. I am very unfamiliar with most non-venomous stuff. The only things I know really anything about with non-venomous, I know a lot of the native stuff if I'm out and I see it, but I don't know anything about them. Okay, hell yeah, a mile from the prison. Yeah, the escapees stop by. He gives them clothes and a meal and sends them on their way. Yeah. Anyway, guys, when we talked earlier, when we were talking about the timber rattlesnake, we had mentioned about the desert, dwelling rattlesnakes. So, when people think of the desert, they often imagine, a harsh, empty place, hot, silent, unforgiving. But the desert's, not empty at all. It is alive, very alive. It's balanced and full of creatures, uniquely designed to survive where few others can. One of the most remarkable of these creatures is this white southwestern speckled rattlesnake. At first glance, the snake may not seem flashy or colorful. Instead, it appears almost pale, sometimes white. But that subtle appearance is exactly what makes it extraordinary. The white southwestern speckled rattlesnake is a master of adaptation, a master of survival and balance in one of the toughest environments on Earth. The southwestern speckled rattlesnake, scientifically known as Crotalus pyrrhus, is found in the deserts and rocky regions of the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. They inhabit areas like Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, and parts of Baja California. Now, this white speck comes from a very small area called Yuma, Arizona. But what makes this snake especially fascinating is its color variation. In some desert regions, particularly those with pale rock or granite or even limestone, the snakes appear almost white or very lightly speckled. The coloration allows them to blend perfectly to their surroundings. It's not coincidence, it's adaptation. The white coloration of this rattlesnake is one of the greatest survival tools. In the desert, there are few places to hide, so shadows, are limited, and cover is real scarce. So instead of hiding behind the environment, the snake becomes part of it. Against sun-bleached rocks and sandy terrain, the white southwestern speckled rattlesnake is almost invisible. The camouflage from this really helps in two important ways. Number one, it allows the snake to avoid predators. And number two, it helps the snakes, ambush their prey efficiently. It kind of reminds us that survival isn't always about strength or speed. Sometimes it's about fitting in and knowing when to remain unseen. Is that right, Ricky Bobby? Like most rattlesnakes, the white southwestern speckled rattlesnake is not aggressive. It is quiet, cautious, and prefers to avoid conflict. They are primarily nocturnal or crepuscular, meaning that it's most active during the evening, night, and early morning whenever the desert temperatures are cooler. During the heat of the day, they shelter under rocks and in crevices or in burrows made by other animals. Their diets consist mainly of rodents and small mammals, lizards, and birds. And again, just like the others, by controlling rodent populations, this snake plays a very important role in maintaining the delicate balance of the desert ecosystem. In an environment where resources are very limited, every species has a purpose, and this rattlesnake fulfills its role perfectly. Just like other rattlesnakes, this species is equipped with a rattle, which serves as a warning, not a threat. In the quiet desert, the sound of a rattle carries far. It is a clear message. I'm here, please give me space, don't step on me. This warning system benefits both the snake and the humans. It helps, prevent accidental encounters and allows the snake to avoid wasting venom on something it cannot eat. Interestingly, though, many rattlesnake bites happen when people don't hear a rattle, often because the snake is stepped on accidentally or it feels that it has no escape. The rattle is a gift of awareness, not a sign of aggression. Yes, the white southwestern speckled rattlesnake is venomous. Its venom is primarily hemotoxic. Again, it's designed to immobilize prey and aid in digestion. So while a bite is a serious medical emergency, bites are very rare and almost always defensive. This snake does not chase people, it does not hunt humans or seek confrontation. Modern medical treatment has made rattlesnake bites highly survivable, especially when handled quickly and properly. The greatest danger often comes from panic, misinformation, or attempts to handle or kill the snake. Understanding reduces risk, fear increases it. The desert is a place of extremes, intense heat, limited water, and scarce food. The white southwestern speckled rattlesnake survives through efficiency and patience. It can go long periods without eating. It conserves its energy by remaining still, and it uses the environment to regulate its body temperature. During the colder months, it may retreat into the rocky dens or crevices, sometime returning to the same shelter year after year. These behaviors show us that survival isn't about excess, it's about balance. Despite their adaptations, this rattlesnake faces growing threats. As always, habitat destruction is number one, road mortality, and human fear have reduced populations in some areas. Do y'all see the pattern repeating itself here? Humans are the reason for the decline in all snake species. Because they blend in so well, they are especially vulnerable to being accidentally killed by vehicles or construction as well. Education is one of the most powerful conservation tools we have. When people learn to recognize and respect these animals, unnecessary harm decreases. Protecting this snake means protecting the desert ecosystem as a whole. The snake teaches us several important lessons. First, quiet strength is still strength. Survival does not always announce itself. Second, adaptation matters more than force. The snake survives by, not by dominating its environment, but by understanding it. And finally, fear fades with knowledge. What we understand, we are less likely to destroy. The white southwestern speckled rattlesnake is a symbol of the desert itself, resilient, subtle, and perfectly suited for its role in creation. When we choose respect over fear and understanding over, instinctive judgment, we make room for coexistence. And in doing so, we protect not only a single species, but the balance of the natural world that we all depend on. Once again, guys, I appreciate you listening, and may we continue to learn from even the quietest voices in nature. What the hell is AI? Yeah, I know who Ricky Bobby is. Sue and Tom do too, yeah. But just like I am for everybody, if you don't want somebody to know, we don't put it out there, so. Gotta find my damn feeding tongs. There they are. Let me check these fucking rodents for the Gaboon Vipers. I'ma hop out. I might be back later. Alright, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I think we're okay to start getting the snakes in place to feed here. So now this is not snitch, this is the white southwestern speckled rattlesnake here. Let me start getting things in place here to feed the big dogs. You check the battery level. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so let me move this rattlesnake out the way. Hey, girl. Okay. What's up, pretty girl? Jesus, Bertha. Holy fuck, Bertha. You gotta go on a diet, bro. Jesus. Okay. Alright, let me get my big tongs. She took a dump, so I gotta clean that real quick. Hey, big girl. Come on, damn it. The camera put up in 1 second, guys. Oh, Bertha. All right, girl. All right, all right. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me get the camera in place. Sorry, guys. Cleaning up a dump from this size is like cleaning up a fucking pile of horse shit. All right. Yeah, we'll look at snitch. guys. Now with these snakes here, if you want to see the strike, you got to watch fast because these guys strike quick with the quickness. Let's see here. She might not. Like I say, I just fed her the other day, so she may not eat. You want it warmer? You want it warmer? Do you want it warmer or what? Here, let me go get a hotter one quick. I might have cooled that down too much. Let me switch sides here. Oh, shit. And I'm going to let it sit there and see what she does. Every now and then she'll pick them up gently, so let's let it sit there for a couple of minutes, see if she gets interested. If not, I'm sure Bill will. Like I say, I just fed her the other day, so. You love Bertha? Cool. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ricky Bobby, but if I was DeVita, that woman would need dentures. Yep, she gently took it. I figured she wasn't in the mood to give us a hefty strike. Yep, she decided to take it, Cayman. Well, she might, Sue, but she would need a new pair. Watch the size of these fangs, guys. I'm going to try to get the camera down lower to show you guys. These fangs are just ridiculous, bro. I just saw it, Jamie. I'm sorry, buddy. I literally just saw it. She's not even bending her fangs out. Hey guys, somebody smash that like button. Help us out here. We need one more like to get us to 30. What the fuck is that? Green screen off, bitch. Alright, I gotta get my fingers back now. She's... Nah, she's not missing a fang, Sue. It's just folded up there against the roof of her mouth. She might yawn and straighten her fangs out here in a bit. We'll see. Puff's in here? What up, Puff? Ain't seen you in a minute, brother. I was actually talking shit about you the other night. There it is. There it is. See? Look at them frickin' fangs. Man. My goodness. My freaking goodness, man. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, baboon vipers are pretty crazy. But anyway, guys, this is Bertha. In case y'all never knew her name, I'm pretty sure we've said it a time or two, though. Um, but yeah, so anyway, we named this girl Bertha. She is a West African gaboon viper. These snakes have a reputation, they're massive fangs, powerful venom, an intimidating presence, but reputation alone doesn't tell the full story. The West African gaboon viper's not a monster, it's a legend. It's one of the most specialized, patient, and perfectly adapted predators in the natural world. To understand the gaboon viper is to understand how nature balances power with restraint. The gaboon viper is scientifically known as Bitis rhinoceros. It is native to the rainforest, the woodlands, and the savannas of West and Central Africa. It is the largest viper in Africa by weight. It is actually the heaviest pit viper on the planet, to my understanding. Gaboon vipers can grow, 4 to 6 feet long. This girl's actually a little over that. She's almost 6.5 when she's fully stretched out. They're very muscular and broad, they got that triangular shaped head. They're instantly recognizable by their, intricate, geometric patterns. Obviously, you got that mix of browns, tans, purples, yellows, creams, basically resembling fallen leaves, It's not decoration, though. It's near perfect camouflage. The gaboon viper's camouflage is among the best in the animal kingdom. They lie motionless among the leaf litter. This snake can be nearly impossible to see, even from just a few feet away. Many encounters with the gaboon viper happen not because the snake approaches a person, but because a person nearly steps on the snake without realizing it's there. The gaboon viper does not rely on speed or pursuit, it relies on its stillness and stealthness. Sometimes the most powerful thing in nature is patience. It's something I don't have much of. Despite its fearsome reputation, though, the gaboon viper is surprisingly calm and non-aggressive. They're very slow-moving and prefers to avoid conflict. Now, don't let that fool you. This snake can be incredibly fast if it needs or wants to be. But it often does not need to flee quickly, Basically, it trusts its camouflage to protect it. So the calm nature just means it rarely strikes unless it feels directly threatened or stepped on. Whenever it does strike, though, however, it's extremely precise. The gaboon viper uses its power only when necessary. It kind of teaches us an important lesson, Having strength does not mean constantly using it. One of the most amazing features of the gaboon viper is its fangs. They're the longest fangs of any venomous snake in the world. They can be over 2 inches long. They're folding fangs, and it allows the snake to, deliver venom deep into the prey. Their venom is a complex mix of toxins that affect, tissue, blood, and circulation. A bite is a serious medical emergency requiring immediate treatment. And if you was to get bit by this snake, I would say you have about a 90% chance of amputation. And yet, the key point to this is bites are rare. Gaboon vipers do not chase humans. They don't hunt people. all bites occur, when the snake is accidentally disturbed or handled. Power in nature exists for survival, not cruelty. And like the rattlesnakes, the gaboon viper is an ambush predator. They feed on, medium-sized mammals, things like rodents, and birds, and occasionally, other animals if they're small enough. They just wait silently, sometimes hours or even days, until the prey comes close enough. And when that moment comes, the strike is fast, efficient, and final. The snake waits for the venom to do its work before consuming its meal. And again, by controlling rodent populations, the gaboon viper plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy ecosystems. Even apex predators, serve the balance of life. So the gaboon viper just teaches us some powerful lessons. First, that stillness can be strength. Not everything powerful is loud or fast. The second thing is respect is safer than fear. Understanding an animal's behavior reduces danger far more than panic ever could. And finally, balance sustains life. The gaboon viper is not an enemy of humanity. It's a guardian of ecological stability. And the West African gaboon viper, serves as a reminder that nature does not create villains, only roles. And when we choose to learn instead of fear, we become better stewards of the world we share. And when we respect even the most misunderstood creatures, we honor the balance that makes life on Earth possible. And like the other couple of snakes, guys, I appreciate you listening. And again, may we continue to approach the natural world with humility, wisdom, and respect. All right, so I think I'll close her up and I'll get out the next guy here. Take me just a minute and I'll get out the next one. Actually, I think we're going to do this a little bit different with Bill. No, we're not. All right. I know all about it, Bubba. Oh, Jesus, buddy. Hey, Bill. Let's back this up, buddy. Let's back this up. Let's see if we can't get that tripod high enough where we ain't even got to move this shit. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can do it. We can do it, Bill. We got it, Bill. We ain't fucking around here, Bill. All right. There we go. Let's zoom out a little for a minute. Okay. Let's drop this down just a smidge. All right, where's my big ass tongs at? There they are. Okay, let me get Bill's lid off here. So guys, the last one weighs just about 37 freaking pounds. I don't know if that scale's right, but I know she's over 30. And now this guy's only about 4.5 feet long, and he's just over 17 pounds. Now, I really don't think Bill will strike. Bill never strikes. I always just got to sit it in there for him, and he just picks it up gently. But we'll see here. Hey, Bill, you want it? You want it, Bubba? Oh, Bill's in shed. He may not eat. Yeah, Bill's blue, damn it. I'm going to lay it there and give him a chance, but his eyes are blue. He ain't going to eat. We'll see, though. If he don't take it in a minute or two, we'll take it from him. And I believe this... I believe maybe the monocle can get it. If not, I know the forest cobra can. I can't wait till I'm able to show y'all the forest cobra. Nah, snitch. You know, snitch could possibly eat that. That's a pretty big rodent, though, for snitch. I think Bill might eat it. Yep, he's going to shed real soon. Yep. That's why I say I don't know if he's going to eat because of that, but he is. I think he's going to take it. Yeah, I'll show Snitch right after Bill's done here. Bill's going to eat, even though he's in shed. So that's good news. I'll actually feed Snitch that way. That way you get to see him. Hey, pretty girl, you're hooded up. That's the first time I ever saw you hooded up. Yeah, it is. Hey, pretty girl. Hello. What's up, pretty girl? What do you call that? What do you call that, crazy? Where you going, Bill? There you go, Bill. Clean Cobra, JFS. What's up, buddy? Josh is doing pretty good, man. He's doing good. Thank you. Thanks, Ralph. I appreciate that. Hey, Ralph, I got a giant tortoise named Ralph. Short section of my channel, but his name's Ralphie as well. We call him Ralph. He's 260 pound sulcata tortoise. Well, he's got two names, Tom. It's Josh and Charlie. Old Tom hit us with the TWU. You've been corrupted, Tom. You've been corrupted. Oh, yeah. What kind of tortoise your grandson get? Did he get a Russian, a sulcata? What did he get? You know, guys, I can just sell my Home Depot tubs to retire. I probably got enough money in tubs to retire. You ain't seen it yet? Cool, cool. I'm betting it's either a Redfoot, a Russian, or a sulcata. They're the three most common. You see the eyes blue right there? That's why I didn't think he would eat for us, but that's really cool that he got one, man. I'm happy for him. What'd your mom get you, buddy? Don't even, I gotta hear this. Ah, damn it, man. It's tough to hold on to like this. That's really cool, man. Yeah, that's cool. I think it's important to get kids into something that requires responsibility, like caring for a reptile or something. You know, it just teaches them a lot. What's up, gay porn? Oh yeah, tortoises live a long, long time. She got you a stuffy. How old are you now, Cayman? He's taking a big breath right now. You see that hole opened up? That's him taking a big, deep breath. When my old lady does that, it's usually because she's going to yell at me. It looks an awful lot similar, though. Okay, you're almost 26. Hell yeah. You get it, Bill? You getting it, Bubba? A friend of us has a tortoise. It's like 35 years old. It's huge. Yeah, man. That's really cool. That's probably a sulcata if it's huge. That's like mine, Ralphie. You know, Ralphie's like 47 years old. But Bill's almost done. Soon as he's through, we'll take a look at Snitch before we call it a night. So I'm going to do a short stream on the extra tonight. I have the small tortoises here, Puff. I'll go get Matilda or something and show you. As soon as I put the lid on Bill, I'll go get Tilda. That way you can look at Matilda while I get Snitch ready to eat. I'm glad you found it too, Ralph. I'm glad you found it. Was you just scrolling through and you found it, or what? Yeah, well, listen, tortoises are basically pigs with shells. Hey, Bill. Hey, Bubba. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Are you going to give us an adjustment? Are you going to give us an adjustment quick before I close you up? Heck yeah, buddy. Heck yeah, I'm glad, man. I really like when people are into wildlife, you know. All right, Bill. All right, William. All right, William. Let's put you up, buddy. Let's see here. Oh, Jesus, Bertha. My God. Holy cow crap, girl. You're going on a freaking diet. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Let's. I know Cayman's dying to see Snitch. We're going to get Snitch out here in just a minute. Where are you at, pretty girl? Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, pretty girl. Hey. Hey. Come on out here. Hey. Come here. Hey. Come on. Come on. Come on out here a minute. Come here. Look. Hey. Hey. Look, we got people to look at you. Come here. Look. Look, girl. Hey. Look. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, this one here's the cobra. This is a Formosa monocled cobra. All right, let me go get a rodent real quick. We'll feed her and then we'll get Snitch out, or we'll get Snitch ready to feed him. I gotta find my tongs though. There they are. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Where's the pointy end, girl? The pointy end's all the way down there. Okay. Alright, girl. Hey, hey. Hey, girl, you hungry? Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Are you hungry? Hey, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Hey. Come on, girl. Nope. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey. The heck? Do you not know how to eat or what, girl? Hmm? She may not be interested. Nope. You stay in there. You stay in there. Nope. Hey. Nope. Get your butt in here. Hey. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hey. No, ma'am. Right here. Look. No, ma'am. Hey. Come on. Excuse me, ma'am. You want it? Do you want it or not? Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? Are you going to eat or not? No? I'm not going to keep holding it all day, okay? Look, you're either going to eat or you're not. Take your pick. Take your pick. No? No? Okay, not interested, you're not interested. We're giving it the snitch. You done blew your chance. Alright. Okay. Let's get Snitch ready here. Yeah. No, that ain't the special needs girl, no. That's the most recent one. Alright. What's up, Snitch? Snitchy boy. Come on, bitch. I can't tell if you can see anything or not. Let's see. There we go. Hey, Bubba. Let me get the lock off of here. Okay. All right, Snitch. You know the drill, buddy. All right, guys. So, this guy here. Come on, you damn mouse. Bam! Look at that freaking strike. Amazing. Actually, while he's waiting on that, I'll put the lock back on. Now, I know he's not perfectly in frame, but he'll move here in a minute into frame when he's ready to grab that mouse. If I turn the camera now, I'm just going to have to chase him with the camera here. So, guys, for some of y'all that have been here before and stuff, you already know who this is. But this is the Western Diamondback rattlesnake. It's scientifically known as Crotalus atrox. It's one of the most well-known rattlesnakes in North America. They live throughout the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. They inhabit the deserts, grasslands, the rocky hillsides, and the scrublands. The tangerine coloration is a morph, you know, it's a genetic morph. It's an albino is what it is. And basically, albinism is where their body don't produce melanin, so it eliminates all the dark pigments like blacks and browns and stuff, and that leaves you with these oranges, creams, and yellows. Despite their very bold appearance, the Western Diamondbacks are not aggressive. They are a very defensive species, though. Like most rattlesnakes, they do prefer to avoid conflict. They try to rely on their camouflage, then their distinctive rattle as a warning before striking. But as we know, the rattle is one of nature's most honest signals. It really exists to prevent harm to the snake and to anything nearby. When you hear it, it's basically a simple message: give me space. The snake is primarily active in the early morning and evening and at nighttime, especially during the hot months. They feed on rodents, rabbits, and small mammals, and it helps control pest populations that otherwise damage crops and spread disease. And yes, the Western Diamondback is venomous. Its venom is hemotoxic and can be very dangerous without treatment. However, bites are rare, and they're almost always defensive bites. They're not trying to, hunt humans down and stuff. They are, it's whenever somebody accidentally steps on them, tries to pick them up, tries to be a hero and kill them or something like that, is when somebody ends up getting bit. Snitch, you always make it difficult to get you on camera eating, bro. Why do you gotta mess with me, dude? I'm never feeding you again, Snake. That's it. That's enough. I'm never feeding you again, Snitch. You done blew it for yourself. You blew it. But anyway, just like, most of the other snakes we've looked at, some lessons that we can learn is adaptation is survival. Warnings are meant to protect, not to threaten, and even feared creatures have value. But the tangerine albino Western Diamondback rattlesnake is more than a symbol of danger. It's a symbol of balance, resilience, and coexistence. When we choose respect over fear and knowledge over instinct, we create space for harmony between people and the natural world. So again, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble, and hopefully we can continue to learn from the remarkable creatures that share this land with us. Oh. Snitch, why are you being a punk, bro? Here, I got an idea. I got an idea here that can fix the problem we're having. Come on. Get that ugly creature off of there. There we go. That'll help. There we go. Whew. Yeah. He's got some bad table manners. I'm never feeding Snitch again. He don't want to stay on camera. That's it. He's never eating again. You're going to binge watch my shorts and videos? Heck yeah, man. Please do. We got some other live stream replays on there and stuff. Check them out. I will give you a fair warning. I do cuss in some of my live streams. And for a short time there, we had some trolls coming around and stuff, you know, so we did some talking about trolls and things like that, but the vast majority of my content you'll see is snake related. Well, I'm sorry, I cuss a lot. I can't help it. I can't help it. Tom, you always got something to say. Yes, sir. No problem. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We got lots more snakes to show. So, you know, we go live every night between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, definitely stop in and check us out some more. We'll show some different snakes tomorrow night. And I got to do a little more feeding tomorrow night. What happened? Was you looking at reptiles because of your grandson's tortoise he just got, and you stumbled across me, or? Heck yeah, man, that'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. I'm trying to build up a bigger audience on the live streams. I've only been posting content for about 5 or 6 months now. My channel's old, but I've only been posting content for 5 or 6 months. And I'm trying to build up a bigger live stream audience and stuff, you know, to you know, try to get the education out there, you know, for conservation and stuff of these animals. But there we go. Let me give you a quick little peek at something else here if she's over this way. Where you at, girl? Hey. Hey, girl, where you at? Hey, hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, you gonna come over here? Nah, she ain't gonna come over close enough. I don't know if I can turn the light and get any light in there. Not really. But that's a green mamba. And then this guy here, this big guy, is a eastern diamondback rattlesnake here. And then there's another eastern diamondback there. But we got a whole shitload of cobras. We got a little king cobra right here. Here's a baby timber rattlesnake right here. Actually, you know what? I got to show you guys this other male timber. Let me move Snitch out the way. This guy is so pretty. He shed. He shed and he's looking brand new. Let me get Snitch out the way here. Alright, pipe down, Snitch. You ain't scaring me. Pipe down, dude. Yeah, until you headbutt that glass and bust it. Pipe down, Snitch. Alright, where you at, dude? Where you at, Bubba? Make sure you're not up this way. No, there you are. Okay. Hey, dude. Hey, dude. What's up, dude? Look at this guy. Look at him. That's a freaking pretty timber rattlesnake right there. Look at that guy. Nope, I just run across it. Both my grandkids watch this with you. Awesome, awesome. Well, listen, if I ever get to cussing, please just tell me that I'm saying cuss words. Sometimes I don't even realize it, so please just tell me and I will try to correct it right away. And I apologize. I've been in the construction business for many years, and that's just something second nature for us on the job site, and it's a hard habit to break. So you just let me know and I will shut my mouth. This is a male. The one we fed earlier was a female. I know, Ralph, but I still try to be respectful and stuff. I just, I don't like to do it. So JT Tom tries to, throw a word out there now and then when he hears me, and lets me know, hey, with language. I have another channel besides this one that, we do, the trolls come and hang out and talk and everything. So, over there, we don't worry about what we say. So I try to keep it separate. Oh, okay. You were a union carpenter? Well, you know what I'm talking about then on the job site. Yeah, I do custom cabinetry and furniture. I've been in business, my own, business for 17 years so far. Yeah, especially when the younger ones are watching. That's right, Tom. Yeah, I fed this guy earlier off camera. Otherwise, I would feed him and show you him eating too. But yeah, he ate off camera. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. If your grandkids are watching right now, actually, let me close this up and I'm going to show them another snake here real quick. They'll probably like this snake. Let's see here. Let's see here. Look at this. Look at this one. Look at this little snaky. Look at that little snake. She's a pretty one. Aren't you, girl? How's it, girl? This one's name is Marshmallow. She is a caramel albino. All right. So, there we go. We're back. But anyway, yeah, she's a caramel albino sunset piebald. Tilda. Bro, you're such a butthole. You are such a butthole, girl. All right, so come here, big girl. Come here, big girl. Here, let's put you right here for now. Here, let's put you right here for now. Come on, here. Come on. Get your butt going. Get your big butt in there. Okay. Oh, shit, you're falling, girl. No, don't go through that. No. Nope. Here. Sorry, guys. Come on, girl. Hey. All right. Now, let me lay this down. All right. So here is Miss Tilda. Yep, Miss Tilda just free roams. Oh, so does Marshmallow. Yeah. Miss Tilda, quit being a damn bully. Here, back up, back up. Come on, there. Come on, show your face. Show your face, big girl. Hey. Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing, girl? All right, guys. I appreciate everybody, as always. It was nice meeting you, Ralph. I look forward to seeing you again. Like I say, we got lots more snakes and animals to show you. So, certainly appreciate you. She's about 6 or 7 years old. I think she'll be turning 7. Yep. She'll be turning 7, huh, Miss Tilda? All right, sounds good. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night. I will be going live over at E2 Extra here in just a few minutes. So I'll see y'all there.